Yoga means oneness. It means that you move, you breathe, because you want to sink in your body, your mind, and your soul. So when you are going to do that, definitely your physical manifestation of stiffness, soreness, and even pain can be eliminated or slowly diminishing when you practice yoga, because yoga involves breath works. When we do breathing, proper way of breathing, we try to balance our central nervous system. And when the nervous system is balanced, it slowly clears away the blocks that's inside the body. And one thing more, when you keep on practicing yoga, the body accepts it as your intention, as your will, that you want to do something. And even if that is something that's foreign to the body, the first thing that you'll feel is pain, because that's protection. But when the body notices that you keep on repeating in doing it, it accepts it as a signal which says, oh, I want this. I want to be doing some swift. I want to be doing some stretching. So that is why you slowly feel that there is always, or there is already, an ease of movement when you consistently practice the movements in yoga. We always call yoga as a healing in motion, because when we practice yoga, we don't only move physical body, but we also engage the activity within us. What's happening when we do breathing is a great manifestation of what's also happening inside our central nervous system. Remember, our central nervous system is governed by our way of breathing. The way we inhale, we activate. The way we exhale, we relax. So if you are under stress, that means to say you are activating your sympathetic nervous system. So when you do yoga, when you are high and activated in sympathetic nervous system, when you do yoga and you involve in a long breathing, say practicing yin, then that relaxes the movement or the breathing pattern inside you. And that means it lowers down, it relaxes your central nervous system. So the body receives it as it's time to slow down, it's time to relax. So you become feeling so better. Instead of being stressed, you tend to feel more relaxed inside you, and you tend to be more open. Your chest tends to be more relaxed as you do proper breathing. Emotions are stored inside your body, and these emotions could come from experiences in the past, or maybe you are just influenced by what's happening within your environment. When you practice yoga, there is a chance that as you release all this emotion, when you do your breathing again, when you activate your central nervous system, you tend to release everything. So that's why people sometimes cry, sometimes feel joy, sometimes laugh when they're doing yoga, because it is the mystic part of the process, but actually it is science. When the central nervous system reacts as you keep on balancing the active and of course the passive part of your central nervous system, you create that balance. So all the emotion that's trapped inside are being brought into the open, and it is manifested as a physical thing. You laugh, you cry, or you just sometimes just keep quiet and still and just recall what just happened. I was just moving and I feel so light and so relaxed. Pain is always a way to protect. It is a signal from your body that something new or something foreign is coming towards you. So of course, that's a protective mode of your body. So when you feel pain, or if you are feeling under stress, then your body tends to feel a little bit of imbalance. Now, which type of yoga you can begin? As I've mentioned, if you are under stress, you are activating your sympathetic. So you do more on the relaxing movement of yoga. You can just do the beginner's yoga, wherein you focus more on extending, stretching, opening your heart, opening. And then you also tend to release the stiffness in your body, so that when you do that, you engage in long exhalation. Remember, when we have activated sympathetic nervous system or we are in our fight or flight, we need to counter it with a breathing that relaxes us. And that breathing will be at any yoga practice. However, so that your body also sync with it, go for a slower pace and a beginner movement for yoga. Begin with that, and then you will slowly progress. And then any type of yoga will be able to help you. In daily prana, we always encourage consistency of practice of yoga. Why? Because when you keep on repeating doing things, your body tends to accept it and sync better. And then you feel the benefit. And what are those? First, you will feel not only physical, but mental and emotional release or comfort. Physical, you will notice that there were moves before or movement or flow that you cannot do. Your body refuses, but because it becomes familiar, then the body opens up and allows. That's the first thing. Second, in terms of your breathing, as you may be unconsciously just following the teacher's cue of breathing, you will be able to balance your nervous system. So without doing extra effort, you will notice that your mind starts to become clear and your emotional stability tends to become better. So you tend to be more mindful. You tend to be less irritable and you tend to have more patience. That's the thing that you will slowly notice if you begin to be consistent with your yoga practice. Have you heard the saying that says, your mind and your gut is interconnected? And it is always that if your gut has issues, your mind is the author of that, or other way around. Well, that is also applicable to the yoga practice. Once you focus, or in our classes, we always incorporate with our flow core trainings, which means there are yoga movements that I never skip in every class, except maybe on the very beginner class, because developing core strength allows your gut system to also feel that intensive focus of controlling your nerves and the movement in the midsection of the body. So when you are trying to build that, your mind also responds that you want that focus to be there. So when your mind is trained to be focusing on certain things while doing the movement and with the aid of breath works, it tends to apply the same concept or logic or practice when you are off the mat. So when you are focusing, actually not only with your core, anything that you keep on focusing with the movement, your mental stability also tries to cope up and it also improves.